What is going on, Twintendo Nation? Hope you're having an awesome day. Now in today's video we're going to be looking at the future updates that have been teased by John Hanke, who was the head of Niantic, in a recent interview that happened about a week ago. Anyway, there was quite a lot of interesting stuff mentioned in this interview, and there's also been things talked about today, which is kind of the great thing about not making a video on this straight away. I actually had a cold, so I just couldn't make videos for a couple of days, and that's why I've not been uploading much till recently. So I'm going to go over the things that John Hanke said in this interview, and then go over a couple more things that have been talked about today and have been found out by other Pokemon Go players, and also some comments from the Pokemon Company's CEO. Also, question of the day for you guys: what update do you want the most in Pokemon Go? Do you want PvP added, which is battling? Do you want trading added first? Do you want Generation 2 added next? What do you want? Let me know in the comments below. Obviously all of those would be great. There are also some other kind of interesting concepts such as breeding and stuff that people have suggested. But anyway guys, let's go over what John Hanke said in his recent interview with TechCrunch. So first of all, John Hanke actually confirmed that Pokemon Go is still technically in its rollout phase. So for those who don't have Pokemon Go in their countries yet officially, it's still trying to get out to other countries. And he mentioned South Asia, parts of Africa, China. Didn't mention India, but I know they've mentioned it in a recent blog on their website. So Indian players, which, you know, I get a lot of comments saying, you know, when's it coming to India? And I feel really bad for you guys because you absolutely deserve it. You've been waiting patiently. And same with the other countries who haven't got it yet. I honestly don't know when it is coming, but it seems like they're focusing on that first, and then the updates will follow. Now the next thing John Hanke talks about is something quite interesting and something I've been wondering since they revealed that the Apple Watch had a Pokemon Go kind of partner app. So they say it's not exclusive, and they think it will come to Android Wear eventually. So if you do have an Android smartwatch, there is a big chance that your smartwatch will be able to run this Pokemon Go partner app in the future. And obviously there is the Pokemon Go Plus if you don't have a smartwatch. However, it's still not working with my phone. I'm hoping they patch that eventually. I'm not sure whether you guys were having any problems as well. But moving on to the big question that a lot of people are wondering about, TechCrunch asked John Hanke, when will we see PvP, which is player versus player, which is obviously the battling. So Hank says he has a 10-year-old son who wants to battle his friends on Pokemon Go, and he says it will probably make its way onto the roadmap, but I don't have a date for you. So it's something that they're looking at, there's something that they're interested in adding on. I don't know why they didn't really have it from the start, but if I had to take a guess, it seems like the end of 2016 will probably be the rollout phase for the game, and then 2017 is when we should expect the big updates like trading, like battling, and probably Generation 2. So there's a lot to look forward to next year with Pokemon Go. I'm not saying we won't have any major updates coming out this year, but it does seem a bit unlikely since they're still rolling out the game to other countries, so they don't want to make massive changes yet until they're very happy with kind of the release of the game. Now towards the end of the interview, John Hanke was asked by the host, what determines when you add more Pokemon? So when John Hanke's asked this question, he starts talking about events and how they'll be part of the future, and he goes on to say the introduction of new Pokemon into the world and events that kind of showcase the game line up very well. So it does seem like, one, events will be coming in the future. They're going to be quite hard to organise because Ingress was kind of a smaller game, but they still had massive events with a lot of people attending. So you can imagine Pokemon Go is going to be absolutely huge. But it seems like these Generation 2 Pokemon could make their first appearance at these events. Now, before you get excited, these events have not been organised at all or not been planned yet, so it seems like the first events will happen next year at the earliest. Again, that's kind of what we expected, so it's not too disappointing, but I really want them to add Generation 2, the sooner the better, because it's kind of gone a bit stale, Pokemon Go now, and I think a lot of people feel the same. Now, the final question the host asked, he says, how can I find Ditto? And John Hanke kind of avoids the question, but he says, I don't want to tell you, it's basically in there somewhere and you'll enjoy it when you find it. So there's no real hint, but people have looked through the latest update, they've data mined it, and the Ditto Easter egg is still not in the game. Most likely it's because they're having problems maybe getting Ditto to transform into other Pokemon. That is what I would assume, but I will be making a video on Ditto in the near future. That video will basically focus on all the possible ways Ditto could be introduced into the game. So if you want to see a video on that, leave a like on this video, really appreciate it. And finally, we're going to talk about one more thing, and this is what the Pokemon Company CEO has had to say about Pokemon Go and the features that are going to be added later in the game. So the Pokemon Company CEO Tsunekazu Ishihara was talking with the Wall Street Journal and basically reiterated the same things that John Hanke had said in the TechCrunch interview. So he said, battling is a category that we do best at Pokemon, but it's important to really carefully consider any feature that may increase the difficulty and raise the barrier to entry for more casual users. So what he's basically saying is they want to carefully add this in, basically when the bulk of the Pokemon Go players have reached a certain level. So what this does conclude is battling will be in the game probably next year, Don't expect it at the end of the year unless there's some sort of miracle. But guys, we should have some more Pokemon Go updates on the way very soon. So if you did enjoy this little update video, definitely leave a like. It's always appreciated, guys. Your support throughout the last couple of months has been amazing. And if you want to subscribe to stay up to date with everything Pokemon Go and Pokemon Sun and Moon, then hit the subscribe button down below. Also, they've added that kind of bell symbol, which basically just means when I upload a video, you'll get alerted for it. So if you really want to stay up to date with all the Pokemon Go news and stuff like that, then you're welcome to click that as well. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. Peace!